a shelter for my soul, an understanding of the greater plan. In these walls I've seen the light of love pure and divine. Helps me remember who I really am. In every face it's clear we're all God's children here, and it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home. A family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It's a place to share your burden. It's safe to shed a tear. Say a prayer and raise your voice in song. Where every heart is honored and every path is true. No one's here to judge you right or wrong. And there's no shame, no sin in this place where love begins. And it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home. A family that I can call my own. It feels like home.
Good morning and welcome. As we sit here today in this beautiful sacred space, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and focus within. Notice your breath. As you ask yourself to close your eyes and take a breath, I ask you to consider who is the you that is asking you to do these things. Is this the same you who might be thinking, oh, I wish I wore my more comfortable shoes? Or the you who is saying, why was I so mean to my sister last night? Or, am I even breathing the right way? Take note of this you who is making this noise in your head. But who is taking note of these thoughts? Who is the you that is hearing them? Let's focus on that you, the you who simply is, who is taking the breath, who exists wholly and wholly separate from that noisy voice. If that voice arises, simply acknowledge it and refocus on the you who is breathing, on the you who experiences life without judging, the you who can connect with all the other yous to make we. As we put aside that chatty you, that judging you, that nitpicky you, or even the you who says, wow, I look pretty good in this shirt today, we can connect with that self who is God, who is spirit, who is one with all. That spark of divine connection is what reminds us that we are one, we are love, we are the source together of all that is. See if you can notice and connect with that you who is all of us. And notice if you feel love or peace. That is why we pray. And so it is.
It feels like It feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home. It feels like home. A family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home. It feels like home. A family that I can call my own. It feels like home.
She let go without a thought or a word. She let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't read the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all the memories that held her back. She let go of all the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't even journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her more timer. She made no public announcement and put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or the daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't do a 5-step spiritual mind treatment. She didn't even call the prayer line. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was what it was. And it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face, and a light breeze blew through her. And the sun and the moon shone forever and ever. Thank you.
I think that's applause worthy. My wife is getting a copy of that. She's going to love that. So can we invite the kids in? Or, yeah, let's bring the kids in. I want you to be a part of this. So I've been given the gift of getting to share a kids song with you this morning. And this is called Riding on the Train. So maybe you'll be up here and help me. Or you want to just kind of stand around? Okay. So So, quick intro. I finally recorded all my kids' music. I've been writing for 36 years. This is called "Riding on the Train." So we're gonna sing this line together. It goes, "Riding on the train." Let me hear you sing that. Riding on the train. Then you're gonna take your hand. You're gonna go, "Woo woo! All aboard!" Okay, and then next time, "Riding on the train." Let's hear that. Riding on the train. Now it's "Woo woo! Tickets, please." Woo woo! Tickets, please. Okay, so thank you. Exactly. Well, that's predictive, because then the verses, we're imagining we're looking out the window and seeing some sort of animal out in the field, and so there we have it. And so your job is to listen on the edge of your seat. What's the animal he's going to say? So whatever animal I pick, you make the sound of that animal, and the kids too, everybody, as soon as you hear whatever I say. Okay. So if it's duck, I say, see the ducks, you immediately go quack 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 quack. Okay, you got that. At the end, last thing, we'll do like 3 animals. At the end, and we're going to shift to "Riding on the train," click, clack, click, clack. You'll get softer and softer, imagining the trains disappearing into the distance, okay? It's a lot of instruction. Here we go. So get your woo-woos ready. Riding on the train, woo-woo, all aboard. Riding on the train, woo-woo, tickets please. Riding on the train, woo-woo, all aboard. Riding on the train, woo-woo, tickets please. As we go riding through the countryside and see those cows out in the fields. Can I hear some moose? I want you sitting right here by my side, and we can squeal, everybody squeal, woo! Riding on the train, woo woo! All aboard! Riding on the train, woo woo! Tickets please! Riding on the train, woo woo! All aboard! Riding on the train, woo woo! Tickets please! As we go riding through the countryside and see those sheep out in the fields, I want you sitting right here by my side, and we can squeal, everybody squeal, woo! Riding on the train, woo woo! All aboard! Riding on the train, woo woo! Tickets please! Riding on the train, woo woo! All aboard! Riding on the train, woo woo! Tickets please! Okay, one more animal. As we go riding through the countryside and see those dinosaurs in the fields, I want you sitting right here by my side, and we can squeal, everybody squeal, woo! Click clack, riding on the train, click clack, 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 click clack, riding on the train, click clack. Thank you. Thank you all.
Is this on? Oh, it is. All right. Good morning. Thank you so much. That was really great. Just a reminder that today is Youth and Family Ministry Hospitality. We have all kinds of really exciting treats, some little, well, you'll see the designs when you come on in there. We have a couple of special guests today. I just want to say, give a shout out to and say thank you. Pat Williamson is assisting us with the kids today, as is Donna DiFrancesco. And Pat and Donna help out. Oftentimes, Donna helps with a lot of things in the background, and Pat has helped out with the kids before, so it's nice to have them. I also want to give a shout out to Wendy, who is here. Wendy has been a YOU sponsor. She's worked with high school kids in the Northwest region for 20 years or so. And she currently attends church at Unity in South Sound, and we are going to have the pleasure of, she's going to come and join us once a month now.
I am very thrilled to come be a YOU sponsor once a month. My grandchildren all live up here. My daughters live in Marysville and Arlington. And my daughter Kendall has gone to kids camp the last 3 years, and Uniteens is coming up, and it's more important that her attendance be more regular. So I'm very excited to be here, and I'm so excited to see Charlie. What a treat.
And one last announcement, we have a community service project today, which we will invite everybody to participate in. When you come into this Friendship Hall, you'll find on the tables some postcards and some pens and some crayons and whatnot. And the postcards will be sent to children who are currently in detention centers, children who have been separated from their families. There's a couple of organizations that are actually collecting cards for kids to give to those kids. So, yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to Rosalie Bennett. I'm not sure if she's in here or not, but she was the one who brought it to my attention that we could do this as a service project. So we will be decorating cards. We invite you to do that as well. So thank you very much.
My part. Thank you for being our family. Thank you for being our friend. Thank you for blessing and teaching us. God bless you. Amen. All that I am, all I've been given, to you, my God, I surrender.
Wow, that sounds like an awesome project, and I want to know, what sound does your dinosaur make? That was really fun. Thank you, Charlie. Well, good morning and welcome to Unity in Lynnwood. I have been thinking a lot lately about all my yous and trying to figure out how to connect more often with my you that makes me a we. Let me say that again, because it takes me a while to get it, and I wrote it. Trying to figure out how to connect more often with my you that makes me a we. Although the expression I to we was coined by Bill George, who's a former CEO of Medtronics and a professor at Harvard Business School, when referring to the evolution of business leaders, it has a lot of resonance for our spiritual lives as well. I know from experience, both in business and in my spiritual development, that when I am able to truly feel the hugeness of I melding into we, it's a quantum leap, which happens to feel better than just about anything. In the spirit of we-ness at Unity in Lynnwood, we welcome everyone. I mean, I ask you, where else can you wear your pajamas to church, right? But at Unity in Lynnwood, we don't care about what color your PJs are. We don't care if they're a onesie or a baby doll, whether they have stripes or polka dots, or even where they were made. You may choose to wear pajamas not at all, although hopefully that's at home. And heck, we don't even care who your pajamas sleep with here at Unity in Lynnwood. We love all pajamas. And we would love to show you that after service at Friendship Hall, so stick around. Speaking of which, as Michelle mentioned, today is Youth and Family Ministry Sunday, and I got a little preview earlier. There are some terrific snacks and yummy things in there that our youth and their teachers have put together. So just a reminder, all donations today do benefit all the fabulous programs that the Youth and Family Ministry takes on. So thank you. So before I came to Unity in Lynnwood, I thought prayer was just some way of begging God for something that I wanted, even if it was something good like, you know, good health for a friend or something like that. Since then, I've learned completely new ways of practicing prayer. My prayer time is what reminds me that I am God, that I can access, be in, experience God's love whenever I pray. What a revelation that was. As Myrtle Fillmore said, prayer is not for the purpose of petitioning God to heal you, but for the purpose of making you receptive to the good that you are asking. In fact, Dr. Richard encouraged us in class just this past week to try to notice and then set aside the expressions, "Dear God," and "Thank you, God," and replacing those, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, with the experience of recognizing being in God, or, dare I say, being God. Whether you are new to prayer or have been practicing for years, Unity in Lynnwood offers many ways to participate in prayer. For starters, there's a prayer slip in the seat pocket of the chair in front of you. You're welcome to fill that out and slip it into the offering basket, and I assure you that our prayer chaplains will give that lots of attention this week. You can also, during the week, call our confidential prayer line or go online and request prayer support there. Finally, if you'd like a little more personal attention today, you can have a one-on-one time of prayer with our prayer chaplains, or spiritual Sherpas, as I like to call them. Because our job is to help guide you along your prayer journey. And I'd like to recognize the prayer chaplains, invite them to stand up today. Thank you very, very much for your service, and they will be welcome to meet with you after the service today. So, affirmations help our brain resonate with what's positive and what we want to envision. When we positively affirm something, we invite our higher selves to hear that truth and to make it part of who we are. Today's affirmation is displayed on the screen, and I invite you to listen while I read it, and then please feel free to stand up and join me in reading it together. Here we go. This is a doozy. My spiritual house is ever filled with the sweet aroma of my daily bread, as it bakes in a pit unlocked by divine understanding and fired by divine faith. You join me? Getting hungry. My spiritual house is ever filled with the sweet aroma of my daily bread, as it bakes in a pit unlocked by divine understanding and fired by the divine faith. Thank you. Let's take a few minutes to say hello and connect with each other.
Get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Good morning, Unity in Lynnwood. Good morning, Unity in Lynnwood. He's made music with Marianne Williams and with Ram Dass. Easy for me to say. Toured with Alan Cohen, is that correct? I remember Charlie from my early days at Overland Park, Kansas. He was one of the original three who made up the group, Oman, Shanti, and Charlie. Would you issue what I know is a unique Unity and Lynnwood welcome to Charlie Thweet, please?
Thank you. Woo woo. What a fun morning. What a fun, all aboard. Well, we're shifting gears from the train song, but I'm going to sing a song for you, and I'll mention it came when I was co-leading a retreat in Assisi in Italy. And the workshop session that morning was going to be about, speaking your truth. And my truth was I didn't really want to be in that workshop. And it was an odd number of people, so I didn't have a partner anyway. So I slipped out. I ended up writing a song called Just Speak the Truth. So this is that song. Just speak the truth and tell me what you're feeling. Just speak the truth with kindness in your heart. Just speak the truth when things come up for healing. Just speak the truth and show me who you are. Show me who you are. Show me who you are. Will you sing that with me? Even if you just get that one line, just speak the truth. Here we go. Just speak the truth and tell me what you're feeling. Just speak the truth with kindness in your heart. Just speak the truth when things come up for healing. Just speak the truth and show me who you are. Show me who you are. Show me who you are. When your day isn't going quite the way you planned, and you watch as your peace just deserts you, then it's time to step up so your heart can make a stand, and just let your friends know if they've hurt you. Just speak the truth and tell me what you're feeling. Just speak the truth with kindness in your heart. Just speak the truth when things come up for healing. Just speak the truth and show me who you are. Show me who you are. Show me who you are. If I didn't love you, then I would not be led to ask for the things that are missing. And it's not always easy to say what must be said. It takes courage to ask you to listen. I speak the truth. I tell you what I'm feeling. I speak the truth, as gentle as a lamb. I speak the truth when things come up for healing. I speak the truth and show you who I am. Show you who I am. Show you who I am. When my day isn't going quite the way I planned, and I watch as my peace just deserts me, then it's time to step up so my heart can make a stand. I just let my friends know if they've hurt me. I speak the truth. I tell you what I'm feeling. I speak the truth with kindness in my heart. I speak the truth when things come up for healing. I speak the truth and show you who we are. Show you who we are. Show you who we are. show you who we are, show you who we are, show you who we are, show you who we are. And that's the truth. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Nice job. Nice job. First person to use the word weenus at Unity in Lynnwood. Just glad it wasn't me. I don't know. Three events. An employment visioning lunch. If you would like to give rise to a new way of expressing yourself in the world, shall we say, we offer a lunch. It is a brown bag event. Come as you are. It includes the presentation of a spiritual idea, a short time of meditation, and beyond that, camaraderie, friendship, support. Stephanie Barton, this will be her second appearance at Unity in Lynnwood. She's offering a public event called Angels Among Us, Messages from the Other Side. It's exactly what it sounds like. This event occurs at 6:30 p.m. It is offered at a suggested love offering of $20. We do ask that you register at the Welcome and Information Station. And finally, as it was spoken last week, it seems that humanity is taking sides, building teams, gathering arms, and growing apart. That humanity is creating others with unprecedented vigor and animosity. To speak to anyone in this room, I think perhaps, in our belief that this effective dehumanization of each other, whether that otherness is born of race, religion, orientation, gender, politic, age, or otherwise, is counter to the very evolution of us as a planetary family. We invite you to join us for an event called Dinner with Others. Share a story, shake a hand, laugh, eat, connect. Let us rehumanize each other as brothers and sisters at a global table. For the greater good of all. These events are facilitated by Rabbi Ted Falcon and Linda Babin. Again, we ask that you register in the back. Today we talk about forgiveness. Anybody in here need to have this conversation today? Anybody have any forgiveness work to do at all? Okay, so two people. Thank you both. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. I'm going to present to you a radical new twist on it, how quickly we associate forgiveness with something of the shadow, how quickly we associate forgiveness with something of what has brought us discomfort. And yet I think its application goes far beyond that. So welcome to a new series. It's called Principles and Practices. And the answer is yes. That is little Richard Held as an undergraduate. Very undergraduate, I might say. Thank you. Truth of that is I'm in that photograph playing the piano on the stage at the State Mental Institution in Osawatomie, Kansas. I will tell you no more of that story. Ask the person next to you. I'll take whatever decision they issue. I love hanging out with clever people. Well done. Well played. Well played. I like to think of this series as being what I might call a fifth tenet series. Okay? Now, what do I mean by a fifth tenet series? What I mean to communicate by that is that unity has about 5 core ideas that are agreed upon by perhaps 80% of most unity leaders the majority of the time. That's really as good as it gets in unity. I'm just going to tell you the truth. And the 5 tenets are, to review, something akin to the following. Unity is a teaching of one. What I mean by that is that there is one ultimate reality, by whatever name you choose to call it. Okay? And we are all united in that one ultimate reality. We're all expressions of that one ultimate reality. And as people have gathered together to share of their exploration and their experiences of that ultimate reality, religions come into being. And religions become the lenses through which we explore and experience that ultimate reality. But the truth being that above religiosity, there is a field. And it's a field of oneness. And it's our oneness in God. It's what I love about unity in Lynnwood. I love that Christians and metaphysicians and Buddhists and Jews and our Catholic priests and our agnostics and our atheists can come together and be in this room in great love, in curiosity and respect, and in open-hearted conversation. I absolutely love that. So unity's first tenet says that there is one ultimate reality by whatever name you choose to call it, and because we gather in buildings such as this on mornings such as this, let's just agree to call it God. You see, the devil didn't make you do anything. Sorry about that. Unity's second tenet would say that because there is one ultimate reality that breathes, that inspires, that sources all life, that you, in fact, are part of that ultimate reality. You cannot stand outside of it. You cannot be the great exception to it. Thank you, Reverend Nina Clark. Which means that the very nature of that ultimate reality is your highest nature as well. This ultimate reality knows itself to be life, to be wisdom, to be love, to be sufficiency. So too is the highest part of you life and love and wisdom and sufficiency. Fair enough? Unity's third tenet says that there is a creative core to you, that there is something of a consciousness at work within you that is ever seeking to prove itself through you. In a sense, it is ever drawing you into mirror experiences of itself. Okay? There is a creative core to you that is forever involved in a co-creative dance with that ultimate reality, and it outpictures on the very screen that is your human life. Unity's fourth tenet says the good news about that is that if you don't like the way your film is appearing on the screen of life, you can change that core self of you. You can grow in consciousness. We can do this as individuals, and we can do this collectively. And I happen to believe that the very consciousness of society, of humanity, is in a time of radical change and growth. Amen. I truly do. I truly do. And the way that we grow, the way that we can evolve that consciousness, is through the practice of various spiritual technologies. They include things such as, prayer, meditation. Do you have a spiritual practice? What about service? Study. I think excellent music is a consciousness-changing spiritual discipline. Let's pause for a moment of prayer. We're at the fourth tenet. Let's just pause there. Let's take a deep breath together. And let's come together and let's practice this for a minute. Let's dance in this idea. And let us begin with the bold assertion that God is. Let's just begin there. God is. God is. God is. Let's begin with the bold and obvious assertion that God is in this place and in this time, in the same way that God has been in every place and in every time since the beginning of all places and in the beginning of all times. Indeed, there is no spot where God is not. So we begin with the bold assertion that the God of my understanding must be right here, as close as my next breath. So here I am in the presence of life. Here I am in the presence of wisdom. Here I am in the presence of love. Here I am in the presence of sufficiency. And where there would appear to be a relative argument, where there would appear to be a departing experience, I hold it in my mind's eye, and to it I speak the words, I am life expressing. That's the truth of me. Where there would appear to be something of a discord, something of an incompletion, I hold it in my mind's eye, and to it I speak the words, I am love expressing. That's the truth of me. Where there would appear to be a confusion, incongruency, I hold that situation in my mind's eye, and to it I speak the words, I am wisdom, expressing that is the truth of me. Where there might appear to be lack, insufficiency, deficit, I hold that in my mind's eye, and to it I speak the words of that higher reality place within me. I speak it, I am sufficiency expressing. That is the truth of me. Life, love, wisdom, sufficiency. I open my heart, I open my mind. I allow myself to be elevated into that consciousness. And if there would be anything lesser in me pretending to argue, I declare in this place and in this time my willingness to have it dissolve, to have it fall away, to have it roll back into the nothingness from which it arose, knowing that it has no life of its own, that I might stand forth anew. A brighter light, a clearer vehicle for a planet that longs to remember. And so it is. Amen. So when I say this is a fifth tenet series, the fifth tenet says that it's one thing to show up on a Sunday morning and be delighted for an hour, but it's what you do with it on a Monday morning that will truly become causative to your experience in life. The fifth tenet basically says it's one thing to know it, it's an entirely different thing to do it. So my goal in this series is to offer you an idea. I sure hope there's one in there. It's to offer you an idea and then to offer you a practice. Fair enough? It's a lot like being in summer school, really. Spiritual summer school. So I'd like to practice some words with you from the beginning of our service. Will you do that with me? I free you. Even that feels good, doesn't it? I free you to be exactly as you were. We're addressing our past. I free you to be exactly as you were. So I began to look for material for this series, and I began to read old talks and to gather ideas, and I just thought I'd share some of them with you. I mean, these are all rejects, really. How about this one? You are quirky and peculiar and odd. You are quirky and peculiar and odd and all the other things you've feared for so long because it is in your spiritual makeup to be so. So deliver a full, unrestrained dose of yourself, trusting that it must serve a noble purpose. End quote. What do you think of that one? Oh, I'm so glad. And yet we're not talking about that one today, so take a deep breath with me. How about the second one? The problem isn't that today's world lacks brilliant minds. The problem is that today's world lacks courageous souls. You can't clap for all of them. You're going to get tired. You're going to get tired. If God is life, then we honor God by living boldly and fully with neither false humility nor sheepish restraint. I'm not going to talk about that one. What about this? God's work in our lives can be no bigger than the containers we provide. Oh. It's ironic, really, to truly follow the radical rabbi, social reformer, teacher of human equality and loving kindness, whom we call Jesus, is to reject much of what society calls Christian. That one's a passionate one for me. I think there's very real truth in that. You know, the ministry of Jesus, the rabbi, and the ministry about Jesus have departed in some significant ways in the hands of many. Just allow that possibility to sit with you, please. If you get nothing else, allow that. What about this? God doesn't know the difference between what you want to create and what you want to avoid. God only knows what you think about. Or this, prosperity is not the experience of owning, because from the spiritual perspective, you own nothing. From the spiritual perspective, you will always own nothing. So properly understood, prosperity becomes the experience of experiencing. How's that for a reframing on your IRA? There's no such thing as beginner's luck. There is only beginner's mind. There is only an understanding that an infinite and unlimited power sources you in every moment, and a willingness to surrender the lower selves of us to that power in all human circumstances. It's what you believe about the thing. It's where your consciousness is in the matter that contributes most to the outcome. Always with the responsibility bit he goes, right? How about this one? Don't pray for a changed life if you're not willing to entertain a changed mind. That's mine, I'm telling you. Let's not continue to blame God for the experiences which humanity perpetuates. Let's not continue to shake our fists at the effects of our own unexamined prejudices, our own deep-seated fears, our own crusty traditions, our own greedy appetites. Or how about this? We don't pray when we jump in the shallow end of the cosmic pool and roll around in the stale waters of disease and confusion and lack. We pray when we dive into the deep end of infinite possibility and invite those in the shallow end to swim out and meet us. And finally, forgiveness. Would be easier to spell. Forgiveness isn't best perceived as a single act to be performed, as it is an ongoing consciousness to be achieved. This one we talk about this morning. So let me read it again. Forgiveness isn't best perceived as a single act to be performed, as it is an ongoing consciousness to be achieved. Doing okay with that? Lynn, how did that new van work for you this morning? Did you enjoy it? For those who were not here last week, somebody walked up a couple weeks ago and handed over a title and said, "Here's your second van." Simple as that. So we took it out, detailed it up, and Mr. Lynn's ministry is riding high. I'd like to start with a question. What is it that would prevent you from living your highest self? That's our operative question for the morning. What is it that would prevent you from living from your highest self? And regardless of the answer, it's a target for forgiveness work. And don't we knee-jerk to that which has caused us discomfort? Don't we knee-jerk to that which has brought us pain? Our forgiveness work, we have a paradigm in which our forgiveness work lives in a container of pain, don't we? And our world's traditions are brimming with stories that support this. I mean, there were two Zen monks who were taught to be walking through a village on a rainy day, and they encountered a woman with many, many packages. She was unable to cross the street because of the water, which was freely flowing, and so the monks stopped. The elder of the two hoisted the woman onto his back, carried her across the street, placed her back on solid ground, and the monks went on their way. And it was shortly thereafter that the younger of the two monks said, hey, not so much as a thank you from her. And the elder said, you know, I put that woman down miles back. Why do you insist upon carrying her still? And from the Buddhist tradition, there's a story told of the Buddha himself. A businessman's children were in meditation with the Buddha. The businessman became angry with the Buddha, thinking that the children should be out earning money. So the businessman confronted the Buddha in the temple. Coming face to face with the Buddha, he had no words. He had no words. He had no words. So finally he simply spat in the Buddha's face, and the Buddha just smiled. Well, this was disconcerting to the businessman, to be sure. He went home. He couldn't eat. He couldn't sleep. He had the countenance of the Buddha's gentleness emblazoned upon his memory, if you will. So we went back to the Buddha the next day and sat before the Buddha again and said, I really need to apologize for that. That was not so good. He said, please, will you forgive me? And the Buddha said, no, I won't forgive you, because the man who did that is no longer here. He's no longer here. And in that particular fable, the story actually is broader in context. The Buddha actually is reported to have said that the men between whom that happened, they don't exist any longer. Isn't that a beautiful idea? They're not here. They're not here. And of course, in the Judeo-Christian tradition, the stories are equally plentiful. It was Jesus who told a story about the unforgiving servant. It was a servant who was freed from servitude by his master only to go out and to refuse to grant the same emancipation to others. And of course, he found himself back in servitude. This idea of forgiveness was very important in the Judeo-Christian writings. There are a couple different Greek words from which the word forgiveness is derived. The nice thing about Jesus is while it was very important in his teachings, he never defined it. He never said how to do it, which is great for people who do what I do for a living because I get to make it up. I get to make it up. You know, I think it's interesting that in the Lord's Prayer, it is the one line that implies a condition. Think about that. That it is, for those who would desire a consciousness of forgiveness, they must participate in a consciousness of forgiveness. Isn't that a beautiful idea? So this idea of forgiveness, what is it that would prevent you from living your highest self? Our knee-jerk answer is, well, of course, it is attachment to past pain. Now, where the conversation gets more interesting is I don't believe it ends there. In fact, I think that's the obvious answer, because I believe it is in our attachment to our past pleasure that we find the sleeping culprit. You know, there are taverns across this country of ours filled with middle-aged men showing off their class state championship football rings from 1972. Still driving that Trans Am. It was Jack Boland who said, you know, what is it about the human creature that would so allow his or her good to get in the way of his or her better? So you see, it's not the pain necessarily that I think is the culprit in forgiveness work. I think it's the mediocrity. Because in pain, we'll turn it around real quick. It's in our mediocrity. It's in our desire to recreate our past supposed victories, to cling to our previous achievements. That will prevent you from living from your highest self. So while we exist in a paradigm in which we would think that forgiveness has to do with pain, I would say no, forgiveness, my friends, has to do with attachment. You are eternally unfolding soul stuff. That's where you are. There is no place in your spiritual DNA for attachment. Fair enough? Take a deep breath. Charlie's going to join me on a meditation. You have the opportunity to use your words. Would you like to review them? I free you to be exactly as you were. There's forgiveness. We free the past to be exactly as it was. We're not talking about condoning something. We're not talking about arguing for unenlightened behavior. We're saying that by freeing the past, we position ourselves to become people of a solution, people of a higher wisdom. Take a deep breath, close those outer eyes with me. And let's just ask the question of the morning. What is it that would prevent me from living from my highest self? And allow that image, whatever comes to mind, allow it to appear on that screen before you and objectively observe it. Let's just breathe for a moment, and to that image we we simply say, I free you to be exactly as you were. Together, I free you to be exactly as you were. And the light comes up, the screen fades to white. So we ask again, what is it that would prevent me from living from my highest self? And we allow an image to come to mind. Could it be a past achievement? Could it be a habit? Could it be a seeming glory? Because if I've attached to it, it has attached to me. So allowing that image to be on the screen before me, I simply breathe and say, I free you to be exactly as you were. Together, I free you to be exactly as you were. What is it that would prevent me from living from my highest self? Is it a limiting idea, a small belief? A dysfunction? Even something we consider to be noble. We allow it to appear on the screen. We simply take a breath, and to that image we say yet again, I free you to be exactly as you were. Together, I free you to be exactly as you were. Breathe with me. To all that would prevent me from living from my fullest self, I free you to be exactly as you were. Freedom of an eternally unfolding soul, unencumbered, light. We allow a smile to rise on our lips. And we allow our eyes to gently open.
Perhaps you've noticed a theme this morning of letting things go. And this song is called, starts out, letting it go, letting it fly. How can you know if you'll laugh or cry? You jump in the river of life. So now you're a swimmer. It's in your eyes. And I invite you to sing this with me. I'll sing a line, then you echo it, okay, on the verses. You can relax on the chorus. So this is how we'll go. Letting it go. That's not the right key. Here, I did it again. Letting it go, letting it go, letting it fly, letting it. There you go. How can you know if you'll laugh or cry? You jump in the river of life. So now you're a swimmer. It's in your eyes. With your arms open wide, you are shining inside, and you look with the eyes of your soul. It's a choice that you make with each breath that you take, and it's all for the sake of your soul. When you were younger, your head in the clouds, did you ever wonder how things would play out? Now that you're older and so much you've done, does it ever feel like you've just begun? With your arms open wide, you are shining inside, and you look with the eyes of your soul. It's a choice that you make with each breath that you take, and it's all for the sake of your soul. Letting it go, letting it fly. Let it fly. Thank you. Thank you. So, may I make a quick... So I've been busy in the studio, and the last year I've come out with 2 new CDs. So you just heard Letting It Fly. That's on here, as well as Just Speak the Truth. And I finally recorded all the children's music I've been writing. I think I mentioned that. And so this is Riding on the Train. Woo-hoo! All aboard. So I'll be in the fellowship hall afterwards. I also, quick question, who would like to go to Italy with me next April? It'll be me plus about 10, 12 people. There's a flyer on my table. Come play in Italy with me. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Charlie. That was really fun. And just like first service, I don't know about all y'all, but I feel like I lost about 10 pounds of psychic energy. It just kind of blew away. So now is the time that we'd like to give you the opportunity to give back to this amazing community for all that we do receive as you prepare your love offerings. Here's something that Charles Fillmore had to say on giving. Divine mind has ideas of substance as unlimited and everywhere present, equally available to all.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant Rest in God and say amen.
Thank you for your gifts. I can feel the weeness, Dr. Richard. I can. Thank you, ushers, for your service. We truly recognize and give thanks that the spirit of love and truth multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. And so it is. Thank you. So everyone had a first time visiting Unity in Lynnwood, and mine was pretty awesome. But we do like to recognize anyone who might be here for the first time. Any newcomers here? Oh, yay, welcome, welcome. We're so glad that you're here with us today. And if you are new or newer to Unity in Lynnwood, we have a couple of things we just want to tell you about to kind of make you feel welcome. First of all, in the chair pocket in front of you, there's a newcomer's information card with a lot of good information about who we are. There's also a welcome packet as you leave the sanctuary with a DVD. Looks a little bit like this right here. Feel free to take one of those home with you. Also, we'd like to invite you to join our mailing list. There's a card, again, in the seat pocket in front of you. Just fill out your info, and you'll get about 2 really fabulous emails a month, I have to say. Matthew does a great job with that. They're actually fun to read. And most importantly, please visit our welcome and information station at the back of the sanctuary to talk to us and ask any questions that you may have about any of our great programs. So some announcements for today. Today's beautiful flowers are dedicated by Nadine Pierre in loving memory of her godmother, Anna, and by Kali Gray in recognition of 3 birthdays. First of all, her grandson, Reed, her hearing guide dog, Mike, and her own 60th. How awesome. Yay. Thank you. And if you'd like to make a dedication, you may do so in the gift shop for a suggested offering of just $10. The summer months often present a shortage of food for families. Through next Sunday, Unity in Lynnwood's local humanitarian outreach team will collect canned, packaged, and dried foods for the Lynnwood Food Bank. Financial donations are also welcome. Just note humanitarian in the memo section of your check, and thank you so much. Unity's Health and Wellness Ministry prevents 2 events. The first one, Walk Around Green Lake, is tomorrow. Meet here at Unity in Lynnwood by 9 a.m. with a snack, lunch, water, and a jacket, and you'll return about 1 or 2, and that's facilitated by Kitty Akamoto. I'll also join Nancy Joy Callahan for The Body as the Temple of the Soul. This lighthearted event combines easy does it movements in a follow the leader format set to uplifting music. Would you like to deepen your connections with your spiritual community? Join Michelle Focos and Reverend Nina Clark for a workshop entitled Cultivating Community, a fun afternoon of interactivities and exercises designed to do just that. Lunch will be provided. And that's the 15th, coming up. Interfaith at Unity in Lynnwood presents Death Cafe with Reverend Karuna Duvall. Eat, drink, and discuss death, that we might make the most of life now. Also, Spiritual Sundays with Rabbi Ted Falcon and Father Dan Duvall's Eucharistic Liturgy. All are welcome at all events. Join your prayer chaplains for our quarterly Celebrate Your Divinity service. Our special guest will be Dr. Jennifer Lovejoy, who will create sound through chanting, drumming, crystal, and Tibetan bowls. The energy of sound, vibration, and affirmation offers you the opportunity to relax, open, clear, and heal. The awakening and aligning of your energy centers brings health and wholeness of body, mind, and spirit. And that's Wednesday, July 18th at 7 p.m. Also, please register online at the Welcome and Information Station for our annual all-community picnic on Sunday, July 29th. Let us all get together and celebrate in a fun way. Finally, if you are interested in submitting art For our next installation, deadlines for submission are July 24th. Please grab a postcard from the back. These and all good things happening at Unity in Lynnwood can be found on your printed program or by visiting our Facebook page or the calendar page of our website at unityinlynnwood.org.
And again, please stop by Charlie's product table in Friendship Hall. If you'll join me, we'll sing our peace song. This be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
Woo! So your tool for the week is this: I free you to be exactly as you were. There's your tool for the week. You know, my little egoic self, I'm learning a new skill. I'm learning how to speak without using the support of so many notes. And of course, my egoic says, you don't have any more than 90 seconds worth of material within you. Church is going to run long today. I'm just going to go ahead and disclose that now, and I will foreshadow the possibility that we will try a new benediction this morning. So take a deep breath. It's the first time I've been a vehicle for change. If there's a first name of any soul you would like to introduce into this consciousness of love, support, and possibility, please speak the name now. So yes, we come together and we stand in God. We stand in the higher realities. We stand in those absolute truths of a God that knows itself to be life, that knows itself to be love, that knows itself to be wisdom, that knows itself to be a sufficiency to all things. Indeed, we stand in the deep waters. Swim out. Let us support you. Let us support you. So to try our new benediction, I'll ask you to open your eyes. You ready? Let's try this. It reads as follows. There is one power and one presence in, through, and around all creation. So we go forth as the eyes of divine love, as the tongues of divine wisdom, as the hands of divine sufficiency, and the bold and ready hearts of divine life. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.